Hey everybody, it's Richard. I'm back here again and very much alive and kicking. It's back to business as usual after my little bout with the rascal of a tiny little mosquito called 80s. Well, it's good to be back, and yes, today we're going to be looking at a rebuildable dripping atomizer, or an RDA, or a dripper, whichever way you want to call it, which I've got actually just before I landed up in hospital. I was vaping on it, in fact, and trying it out. It was really good. If you're into cloud chasing, you shouldn't be missing out on this. This is definitely a cloud chaser's dream. Apart from things like the Tobeco and things like that. And this is also made in the Philippines. And what are we talking about? We're going to be checking out the APO RDA. Yes, indeed, this is made in the Philippines. Let me put it nearer so you can get a closer look at it, and it's beautiful. It's got a copper airflow ring around it, and I've got it with my APO drip tip, which is in brass, and on my Chiu mod here I've got a 0.6 dual coil in there together with rayon fibers. Finally arrived. I'm going to be doing a review of that very soon on rayon fibers wicking. And yes, the APO RDA, which is the original by Ghetto Inc Customs. Ghetto Inc Customs, made in the Philippines. In fact, Philippines has come up with quite a few, really good drippers out there. I was about to say award-winning drippers. No, very, very good drippers. This is a clone that I have here from Tobeco. It's a 1-to-1 version. Yep, together for best cooperation, and it's pretty good. Yes, the APO RDA is definitely taking the cloud chasing scene by storm, alongside with things like the Tobeco as well, if you remember that one. This one has got the airflow control ring, which is very well thought out, with Cyclops style air holes in it. What's even better is that the maker has also designed a single air hole, which is in Cyclops style as well, for regular vapors. Single coil setup. That is the beauty of it. The air holes comes in sizes between 2 mm and also 1.5 mm. So they've got two different sizes for you to play with. 22 millimeter rebuildable dripping atomizer, or RDA. It's got silver plated center pin for best conductivity. Very large Cyclops style air holes, copper airflow ring. What else? Except it doesn't come with a drip tip. I'm going to demonstrate this to you and show you how good the vapor production is. I've got, like I said, a 0.6 dual coil Kentel wire 28 gauge in here together with rayon fibers, and got my favorite juice from Mr. Good Vape, Karma Cream, 50/50 I presume, with 12 milligrams of nic in it. Let's take a vape and see. As you can see, it's really creating a cloud. This is definitely gonna be a cloud chaser's dream. Fantastic. We're gonna, hold the fog. I'm sorry about that. We're gonna dive down, and get a closer look at the APO RDA and see what it's all about. Come back, talk about it, vape on it, and see if it's worth your money. All right, so just stay with us. All right, so here we have the close-up of our APO rebuildable dripping atomizer. The original, once again, from Ghetto Inc Customs, made in the Philippines, and my version here is from Tobeco, Together Best Corporation. I've got mine from altsmo.com here locally in Malaysia. I paid 65 ringgit for it, which is about probably $25 around there, plus minus. And yes, this APO RDA has taken the cloud chasing scene by storm, alongside with things like the Tobeco, and we're going to get a closer look right now from the extreme right. As you can see, it's the building deck, and we have the airflow control ring here in copper, and of course lastly the top cap here with the O-rings alongside. We're going to get each piece of it and have a closer look right now. We're going to take the building deck As you can see, the building deck comes here with 3 poles, and like I say, it's got really large air holes in it, which can fit into your 22 gauge, 24 gauge or 26 gauge wires. Yep. And it's also got these flathead screws for you to screw down your wires, whether it be your thick wires or your Kanthal wires. What I was using was the 28 gauge Kanthal wire. It's got an O-ring all around it for your top cap, and right beneath it we have got the silver plated contact pin for best conductivity, and there's also the Delrin piece there alongside it to prevent short, and of course the engraving here that says Philippines and the serial number 0764. Yep. This is all made of stainless steel. I should think it is stainless steel 304, if not 316. So that's your post there, if I can get it closer for you to have a better look at it, with your flathead screws. And the drip well, it's not that deep, but you could probably get 8 to 12 drops of your juice in there, perhaps. It's just about probably 2 millimeters in depth. So that's our building deck. Next we move on to the airflow control ring. As you can see, the engravings, the word APO, and there's a sun there if I'm not mistaken, a star as well, some stars. So there you go, that's the engraving of APO. And this is a copper ring. I believe the original version also come with a black version of the airflow control ring. And these are the Cyclops style slits. That's your airflow control ring. And last but not least, your top cap. This is the top cap of the APO RDA, and those are your Cyclops style air holes. Okay, we'll start from this. This is the smaller version of the Cyclops style air hole. This, I believe, is the 1.5 millimeter air hole, and you have the 2 millimeter air hole. There's 1, 2, and then you have the smaller one again, and a big one. Okay, and you have on top here for your these what you call grooves here to disperse the heat, I presume. Yeah, and this is a little bit slanted, which is quite nice. It doesn't come with the drip tip. You have to get your own drip tip, but I fitted just about every other drip tip in there, and it fits perfectly fine. And in there, there's a bit of a concave in there. And yeah, taking a look at the Cyclops style air holes, you have one here. If you're using dual coil, one on each side. So if you look closer, you can actually see through. Yeah, see through the other side. So you can see my finger moving underneath. Yeah, so that's for your dual coil. Those are the big air holes. And if you're on a single coil, there is another air hole here, which is the big one as well. This is for your single coil. But if you look underneath on the other side, this one here, this side doesn't have an air hole. So this is for your single coil. Alright, one. And it doesn't have an air hole here. Whereas if you look at the other one, one, and right opposite you have another one. So that's for your dual coil. And the small air hole, the 1.5 millimeter air hole, one here and one the other side. Okay, so you can do a dual coil for the small air hole as well, the big air hole, and the single coil air hole. And you have 2 O-rings to hold on to it. And this is polished stainless steel. I must say it looks really nice for a clone. So when you set up your airflow ring, make sure you have the APO wording right side up. Okay, So you just look for the dual coil, the two big air holes, just push it in there. Well, from what I know, the original, apparently there are some complaints that, you know, this is too tight, but I have no issues with this clone version, so it moves pretty easily. Yeah, so, and I've got it on my fully open here. You can have it halfway, and if you turn some more, this is the single air hole. Yeah, see, it's closed on the other side. And if you push it over, you have the smaller air hole, the 1.5 millimeter air hole on each side. Yep. And then you have your building deck. If you just push it in, yep, and it goes in. Really, this is a very good build, no problem. So this is the close-up of our APO RDA from Tobeco. So there you've just seen the close-ups of the APO RDA from Tobeco, Together Best Corporation there. Not too bad, not too shabby. In fact, it's very well made. And yeah, we're going to take a vape again right now and talk about it. The vapor production is really fantastic. Woohoo! Yep. The APO RDA from Tobeco. If you ask me, it's worth your money. If you're into dripping, if you like cloud chasing, this is definitely got to be it. One of my, among others as well, my favorite drippers, if you ask me, besides the Tobe Eddy that I like. I really like the Tobe Eddy for the flavor and also for the vapor production, and this is just alongside. I love this, you know. In comparison, personally, with between this and the Zenith, I prefer the APO RDA. So, worth your buck, and this is the APO RDA from Tobeco, as I mentioned earlier on. And well, that's about it for this RDA. It's beautiful as well on my Chiu Megan, as you can see. So until I talk to you again, vape safe. It's nice to be back, and have a great day. Bye for now.